These are the stories topping the news. Contract for progress signed. A cane cutter kills 3 in Guyana, and Hong Kong men found guilty in biggest ever corruption case. Good afternoon and welcome to ZIZ's midday newscast for Thursday, December 19. I'm Jason Davis. Now the news in detail. Massive crowds were observed at Penny's Beach in Nevis and at Port Zante in St. Kitts when the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party and the Nevis Reformation Party signed the Contract for Progress on Thursday. Both parties claim that they have built a relationship on communication, trust and transparency and are therefore determined to protect and reinforce the rights of the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis to decide on their own future, safeguard the achievements that have allowed the Federation to set an example for growth and prosperity in the Caribbean, and continue working for the benefit of the Federation based on principles of mutual respect, equity, transparency, fairness, equality, freedom, and justice. The signing of the Contract for Progress was punctuated with a concert on both islands. Jamaican DJ Coppershot and recording artist I-Octane entertained audiences on both islands. In other news, 4 members of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force are now certified to conduct psychophysiological detection of deception exams, commonly referred to as polygraph or lie detector tests. This comes following a 10-week workshop held in Barbados, organized by the United States Embassy and the Regional Security System. One of the participants, Inspector Eldrin Dickinson, explained that the police force will use polygraph exams in a number of specific cases.
The first area deals with diagnostic. Diagnostic meaning the criminal side, the way a person is being accused of an offense and he voluntarily wishes to clear his name, he can opt to use the polygraph examination. The second phase of polygraphing deals with screening. Screening means that you are already in the police force, and because of certain sensitive areas within the organization, the High Command will wish for you to be screened. It will also use for entrance into the police force.
Dickinson said the training of officers in polygraph testing was in keeping with the changes to improve professional conduct.
Over the years, we had to rely on other countries to come in to do this for us. And they come in and they only may able to spend 2 days or 3 days. Now we have our own. We are now certified, qualified polygraph examiners.
A polygraph machine is expected to arrive on island in the first quarter of 2015. Minister of Energy, the Honourable Dr. Earl Asim Martin, has predicted tremendous savings on the overall cost of energy with his ministry's focus on renewable energy. During the 2014 budget address, Dr. Martin stated that St. Kitts and Nevis will be relying less on the use of diesel and more on renewable energy forms. He said since the launch of the first solar farm at the RLB International Airport, it has saved the country over $550,000. The minister also noted that the government has recently entered a relationship with the St. Kitts Electricity Company and the Republic of China, Taiwan, to build another solar farm at the roundabout at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. It is expected to generate 500 kilowatts of energy, saving over $400,000. He also mentioned plans for a third solar farm to be built in the Newton Ground area in the near future. These solar farms, he said, guarantee 20 to 25 years of operation and will generate up to 4.4 megawatts of energy for the national grid. The Organization of American States, or OAS, has announced the opening of the application period for the OAS Academic Scholarship Program for 2016. This program offers students the opportunity to pursue undergraduate degrees, graduate degrees, or graduate research, leading to a university degree at institutions of higher education throughout the hemisphere. The scholarships are open to all citizens and permanent residents of OAS member states. They offer up to $30,000 a year in total benefits that may cover all or part of tuition and mandatory fees, living costs, study materials, airfare, and health insurance for up to 2 academic years. Applicants for this award cycle will be eligible for studies beginning between January and December of 2016. Interested candidates should review the program requirements, the eligible fields of study, regulations, and deadlines before submitting an application. You can contact the OAS office at Fort Lands or the Human Resource Department at government headquarters for more information. On the regional scene, a cane cutter in Essequibo, Guyana, yesterday hacked to death 3 people, his stepdaughter, his mother-in-law, and a man he suspected of having an affair with his wife. His wife is in critical condition in the hospital.
Just after midnight Wednesday, Joshua Franklin smashed his way through the louver panes to begin his bloody rampage. Inside the house, Gita Budu was at home with her mother Bibi Zalima and her daughter from another relationship, Ashley Budu, who would have celebrated her 10th birthday Saturday. Also inside the house was another man, 30-year-old Floyd Drakes. They were all killed when Franklin pounced on them with his cutlass. The grandmother and the young child were hacked to death in the house. The grandmother, it is believed, in the living room and the young girl in the kitchen. The wife, with whom Franklin is said to have shared a violent relationship, rushed out of the house and sought refuge at a friend's home a few yards away. She made it up the stairs of the friend's house, and once police showed up, she was rushed to the hospital, where she remains in a critical condition. When police were called to the scene, they only noticed the bodies of the older woman and the young girl, and their bodies were taken to the mortuary. The police completely missed the fact that another man, the said Floyd Drakes, was involved in the incident. It was some 9 hours later, well into daylight, that neighbors alerted the police to the fact that a man was dead, his body found in a clump of bushes in the yard behind the toilet. It is said that a woman was involved in a relationship with Drakes, who worked in upholstery, also of Tushem. The two were apparently drinking at home when the cane cutter surprised them with his cutlass. One neighbor said she heard some noise but believed it was one of the couple's usual fights. 6 of the woman's other children, including 2 boys, one 6 and the other 7 years old, escaped from the house and were rescued by police on the road. The police are on the hunt for the suspect, Joshua Franklin.
The Department of Mental Services in St. Lucia has taken the spirit of Christmas to the streets. Staff members have been performing impromptu concerts all across the country. More in this report.
Called the 5 Mornings of Christmas Singing, the group started from Monday to stage their impromptu performances at locations across the city, including Constitution Park on Wednesday and the Castries Market on Thursday.
All in all, we just want to share good cheer with the public and especially our patients. We may not have tangible gifts to offer, but we just want to remind the public and our outpatients that even as the season is on, we want them to remain joyous in spite of the challenges which they face. Also, we want to encourage them to be compliant with their medication and to keep in close contact with family members so that they continue to get the support that they are used to getting.
So far, the effort has been well received by staff, patients, their families and the passers-by, who the performances are primarily targeted at.
The outpatients are extremely excited, and this in itself motivates me. It is something that was not really planned, like in detail, but I just thought of the idea and the staff embraced it, and this is what keeps Wellness Center going. Everyone comes with a beautiful idea, all in all, to make people happy and cheerful, and everyone has been so embracing. Family members are in support, and as you could see, passers-by are stopping, smiling, waving at us and so on.
The group hopes to make the activity an annual one, and with the help of sister agencies, to make it an even bigger affair. For the DBS News World, Kendall Burton reporting.
Internationally, Hong Kong property tycoon Thomas Kwok and former government official Raphael Hui have been found guilty in the city's biggest ever corruption case. His younger brother Raymond Kwok was acquitted and cleared of all charges. The billionaire brothers are the co-chairman of the city's largest property developer, Sun Hung Kai Properties.
Batman scales the IFC, towering over Hong Kong in the dark night. It's an architectural stamp of wealth and power.
It isn't really surprising the producers chose IFC as the backdrop for that dramatic scene. It's one of the most famous buildings on the Hong Kong skyline, and it's also one of the 3 tallest. All 3 of those tallest buildings were built by Sun Hung Kai. That's the property company founded by the Kwok brothers.
Indeed, the trial of the brothers Thomas and Raymond Kwok had Hollywood plotlines, the biggest corruption case ever in Hong Kong. A mistress, bribery, and a family feud, all laced with political intrigue. The main question hung over whether the brothers bought the allegiance of this man, Raphael Hui, a one-time chief secretary of the Hong Kong government. The central allegation: the brothers made payments to Hui through a series of intermediaries, and in return, they got access to key information to help their business. For the general public, the trial was a rare window into the world of the powerful and rich. The brothers and family are worth $14.5 billion, on a level with the Murdochs, according to Forbes magazine's latest rich list. Throughout the trial, the brothers and Hoy maintained they were innocent.
I can say that personally I have done nothing wrong, and I can vouch for Mr. Thomas Kwok that he has done nothing wrong either. I hope this investigation will clear my name.
But the trial itself fueled a wider debate about the access of big business to big influence, especially in Hong Kong, a vibrant financial hub where the wealth gap is increasing.
If you don't have outright bribery, then you might still have problems with influence peddling through the election system, where large conglomerates have large numbers of votes. That tends to result in a government that has to respond to its corporate electorate rather than to the general public.
This isn't the first time corruption in Hong Kong has hit the front pages. It follows hot on the heels of an investigation into former Chief Executive Donald Tsang for taking expensive gifts from Chinese businessmen, an allegation he denies.
The Kwok brothers' trial that has played out at the courthouse behind me has put into focus Hong Kong's reputation as a fairly corruption-free place to do business. And indeed, in Transparency International's latest report, Hong Kong ranks 17th on the Global Corruption Index. That's a pretty good showing. It's even on a level with the United States. But it's worth noting that Hong Kong has slipped in the rankings over the last 4 years, and many are wondering if it has further to go. Manisha Tang, CNN, Hong Kong.
Every year, Fantasy Flight takes a group of sick children to the North Pole to see Santa. And while the destination might be fantasy, the flight is not.
Smile. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
I think this has been one of the most important events for these kids.
It's way, way up north. Yep, you can't even see it on the map because it's at the very top.
A lot of these kids don't have the privilege to go flying. They'll never go on a plane. And this is the one experience that they have to be able to go do that.
The Fantasy Flight's a great adventure for the children.
Are you excited to see Santa?
Yeah.
We take the kids to the North Pole.
It's a magic airplane. They didn't believe us that we were going.
Frosty the Snowman knew the sun was hot that day.
When we got to the gate and the kids actually realized they were going to the North Pole, they were really, really excited.
Are we going to the real North Pole?
We are. You'll be so amazed.
Everybody needs their boarding pass that says North Pole.
It was really great to see them realize that we were going to the North Pole.
Then one foggy Christmas Eve,
we got actually on the plane and it was all decorated, so it was really great. Pretty much like a Christmas tree, just in the air.
We're going to see Santa, and it's going to be magical.
Are you really excited to fly?
Yes.
Is everyone excited to go to the North Pole today? I can't hear you.
have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
We had clearance to land at the North Pole. We got Santa up on the hoist, right, around the airplane, and the kids are just like mesmerized. It touches your soul.
The best thing that I think, they love the magic show.
You mean a rabbit like that?
And just meeting Santa.
Merry Christmas, Grace. How are you?
These kids talk about it all year long. It's really important for these kids to have this opportunity.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history.
Like George Washington.
And now the weather. Today we'll experience partly sunny skies with temperatures reaching a high of 28 degrees and a low of 24 degrees. It's also expected to be very windy with similar weather patterns this weekend. And that's it for the ZIZ's midday newscast. Join us at 6:30 and 7 p.m. for the evening news. Thank you for watching. I'm Jason Davis.